Rest in peace, my granny. She got killed by a bazooka. Yeah, I think about it every time I hit the hookah. Good morning, Slop Nation. Welcome to Slop Chop. Welcome back to the back rooms. We haven't built a set yet. It's a difficult thing to build a set, you know? You guys gotta give me some fucking time here, dude. I don't know why you keep hounding me about this thing, dude. I'm working on it. So for 2 weeks now, you get the knee shot. Just all knee all the time. Yep, there's a whole other fucking apartment to build. So my kitchen is operational. Thank you for asking how the apartment's going. It's going very well. I appreciate you asking. Kitchen's operational, bedroom's operational, bathroom's operational. You kind of have to do those three things to have a livable space. And then like the thing that, the room that you record in once a week can wait. It can be project number 3 or 4, right? So that's where we're at. That's where we're at, is we had to do some other shit first. Congratulations to España, Viva España, for winning the World Cup, dude. I missed the England game the night before for third place. France and England played the night before the final, and the game was apparently nutty. It was like the highest scoring game of the tournament, 4-6, which is fucking crazy. Apparently, England, or it was like 0-0, and then you look down and look back up, and then England was up 2, and then France was up 4, and all kinds of craziness. So they did the fun one that should have been the final. They had that before the actual final, which was boring. And I watched it. I watched 3 games this World Cup. It's 3, maybe 4, 3.5. And I'm essentially a diehard soccer fan now, dude. I'm ride or die at this point. I think it is. There's a reason that it's the most popular sport on the planet Earth, and it all makes sense to me. If you guys aren't familiar with soccer, the how it works is you hit the ball with your foot, and you pass it to each other, and you dribble it down the field or in the pitch. You dribble it down the pitch, and then you pass it to a guy, and then the guy shoots it. And 98% of the game is dribbling in the middle of the field. And then when people like run quickly towards the end of the field, there's commotion about. People tend to like the volume in the stadium raises, and then people go, oh. But most of the time it doesn't go in. It is really, really impressive, all joking aside, to see these guys operate. They have I was just watching like the footwork, the passing, and the general just like effortless. They make it look effortless. It's insane. I think one of the Argentinian players was just like a full speed sprinting down the field with the ball, and the ball just like he didn't even break stride for a second, and the ball just shot to his left to his teammate. I was like, what the fuck? How did he pass it? I didn't even see. It didn't even register to me that his stride changed in the slightest. Or like, catching a long pass with your foot and bringing it down and then shooting it right away. Like it's insane. It's insane. So it is really cool. We were wondering amongst our friend group why sloppers do you think that there is such a flop culture in soccer? It's the floppiest fucking sport by a mile. By a mile, dude. I was like, this is like, because I posed this question to the room. I was like, why do you guys think that there's such a flop culture in soccer, more so than any other sport? And my dumbass friend who was like, well, basketball, there's plenty of flopping in the NBA. And I was like, yeah, some, sure. But it's nowhere close, dude. It's nowhere close to soccer. Soccer, there's like, they need like a fucking... like a minor, maybe not a full degree, but like a minor in acting. You need to like have a really impressive face for the game, so that when you get hit, your face goes on the way down. It's like you look like a Skyrim NPC when you're falling, but you have to strike that pose. And like it seems like they're all under the, it's like they forget that all of this is being filmed and that we're just going to watch it in slow motion 2 seconds after it happens. And like every square inch of the thing is filmed. It's like they forget because they flop their asses off. Like the funniest is when they get hit, they like sort of halfway register it and then they go, oh, I got hit. Ah! Which happens. It happened in the final even. And you know, I guess the refs sometimes are pretty good about yellow carding for flopping, but fucking hell, man. Like, okay, so why soccer? Why is it this, like, again, why are you hiring these wannabe fucking theater actors? They're all acting big. It's not like they're they're acting as if they are on stage. They're not acting on a set where there's cameras and you can like sort of like play it subtle like a Casey Affleck. No. You're acting like fucking Jim Hamilton from Hamilton. I don't know any theater actors. I'm not a theater guy at all. You're acting like Jimmy Hamilton, bro. Like Thanos and the Thanos when he's all the Guardians are attacking him, and he's got Mantis on his shoulders making him sleep. It's like, bro, you're making a mockery of this goddamn sport. It makes it difficult to recommend your sport to any American who gives a shit. Why do we care about recommending our sport to Americans? Who gives a fuck? All right, fair enough. But then why don't you guys care? Why don't you guys see what I see in that it's like the cringest, most embarrassing shit ever? It's so fucking embarrassing. But okay, fucking whatever. However you feel about it, you must admit that soccer is the sport where flopping is part. It's just part of the game, part of the culture. Why slops? Here's my theory. You're goddamn right. I have a theory. I wouldn't just pose a question and not have anything to back it up with. My theory is this, sloppers. My theory is that it's because there's no stoppages. Like every other game on Earth has like a natural sort of start-stop. Football, basketball, the other ones. There's like a general, like you have plays, you know, and soccer just the least of that. There are stoppages and there are like breaks of the action, but for the most part, dude, it's pretty much balls to the wall the whole goddamn time. And if you're looking for a nini or a nap or a replacement, or I guess not a replacement, but like, you know, if you want a stoppage of the action, or if there's like the other team has like a ton of momentum, timeouts are not a thing. So instead you do the big old flop, the big old flip flop. And then also like you do the big flop, and then if the soccer thing doesn't work out, or if you get just like mega CTE from playing the sport well into your 40s, like a Messi, like a Lionel Messi. If you have dementia by the time you're 55, then hopefully it doesn't affect your ability to remember lines, because you have a bright future ahead of you as an actor. And perhaps like, you know, one of the non-problematic Weinsteins will see your tape, your demo tape, which is just a compilation of you comically flopping your ass off in midair, striking a pose and hitting the ground. There is probably, this has to have happened. Come to think of it, there has to have been some guy who was not hurt when the initial thing happened, but then because he went so big with the reaction, he fell weird and like injured himself on the fall. That has to have happened. Yeah, that's all I can figure, dude, is that it's the stoppages thing. And were there natural stoppages and timeouts and subs and shit built into the game, then you wouldn't have this ridiculous flop culture, or at least it wouldn't be as prevalent. That's my theory. Slops. What do you think? You think I'm spot on, 100% correct? Another question for you. Leave a goddamn comment if you have an opinion on this. Am I spot on? Please tell me I'm good. Tell me I got that. Tell me I nailed that. Tell me I'm good. Tell me I'm worthy. Tell me I'm interesting. Another question for you, Slops, is what the fuck is the deal with the time clock? What are we doing? What are we doing? Why is it? And I could be wrong about this. I'm not a sports guy. I dip my toe into the realm when it's the playoffs or the World Cup or whatever. If it's the Knicks versus the Spurs in the NBA Finals, I'm going to watch a few of those fucking games. Okay. If it's the World Cup, I'm going to watch a few of those games because I love cultural moments. I'm obsessed with what the world is talking about. I find it fascinating when the whole world can be captured by a thing. I made a podcast about it, right? And sometimes that thing is sports. Yeah, I watched the Super Bowl game. My point is that I dabble, but I don't know a whole lot about it. To the best of my knowledge about the fucking sports that I watch, maybe hockey is like this, but it's the only one where the time goes up. The time just goes up and everyone just knows that there's 90 minutes in the game. And there's also just like the ref is just kind of vaguely keeping count of the stuff that happens that will add up to additional time afterwards. And they are keeping, it's always a guy. He's keeping track of the shit. And no one knows how much time is going to be added until the end. When he goes, 9 minutes. Everyone goes, okay. And they just play another 9 minutes. And then like, can you add more time within the added time thing? What if some asshole gets ultra injured? Why? My point is, why doesn't the fucking clock stop? Like every other sport, just stop the clock. That's the whole goddamn thing. Like it's essentially this, the result is the same where you are not, if you have 90 minutes of scheduled time, you'll be playing more than 90 minutes because there's always added time. So then just add time by stopping the clock. And then also here's an idea, count down instead of up. So you can like, oh shit, we only got 13 minutes of this fucking thing left. Why are we counting up? And so it makes dumbasses like me who don't know soccer have to ask their friend. It makes dumbasses have to ask their friends how much time is in the game. I'm really trying to protect the idiot Americans like myself who tune into this every 4 years and forget in between. I go, what is it's going up? We're starting at 0 and going, like, why not? If you just flipped that and counted down, then suddenly everyone would know exactly how long. And then like maybe as stoppages happen, you like put like a -1, -2, or +1, +2, you know? And so then everyone is fully aware of how much time they're going to have and how much, you know, if you're going to work or whatever, you're like, okay, well, it's only 14 minutes of this game left. Right? So yeah, count down. Here's my notes for you, soccer. Count down, please. And then also just stop the clock, bro. When stoppages happen, just stop the clock. You don't have to do the plus thing. It's unnecessary. Okay? Let's tighten it up. Let's tighten it up a little bit, soccer. Fucking hell, that's why you guys only playing this shit every 4 years, bro. Guy who thinks the World Cup is the only soccer ever being played. If you guys really tightened this shit up, you'd be playing all the time. Football happens every year. Football happens annually. And soccer, you guys are waiting every goddamn 4 years like a bunch of schmucks. What are you doing? There's plenty of time in between. You could at least be practicing or something. But you wait. You wait and you wait. It does kind of feel that way. Or like, you know, more following the same logic, like the Olympics, like who is out here pole vaulting? Or I guess gymnastics I could see being a year-round thing. What's another one? Like ice lunging. Are you guys doing that? But twice a decade, every 4 years. You know what I mean? It's like it's hard for me to picture someone bobsledding in real life outside of this very specific, you know, it's not biannual. It's not what every 4 years. It's just every fucking 4 years. You know, it's just like a weird thing. The Olympics are a strange phenomenon, a strange holdover of forgotten time. They're cool, and the World Cup is also cool. I like it's just like an election. I wonder why did 4 years become the thing? Oh my God, it's just like a presidential election. Why are there any other things that are like that? You have Olympics, World Cup, and the presidential election every 4 years. Why? Why did that become the thing? Why not every 5? It does seem like a really perfect amount of time, doesn't it? For all 3 of those situations. 5 feels like a little too long. 4 is like perfect, bro. It's also high school and college. Like it's how long it takes to get a degree is 4 years. Most programs are 4 years long. What else? That's it. That's the only things I can think of. If you can think of anything else, so leave me a comment though. That's interesting, right? How do we figure that one out? Why do we figure out that 4 years is the thing? Speaking of which, did you guys have middle schools that were 2 years long? This might be a Dallas, Texas exclusive thing because everyone that I ask this is like, huh? Our middle school, we had elementary school was K through 6. And then at middle school was 7 and 8. And then high school was normal 9 through 12. Why the fuck is 6th grade in elementary school? Why? Like 2 years is so silly to have an entire new building to go to for just 2 years. And what's also hilarious is that as a 7th grader, you think the 8th graders are like ancient or like the cool. Oh shit, he's like an 8th grader. He's like an 8th grader, bro. Maybe you always think that as even elementary school. I mean, you always sort of have that in your thought of like, if you're in 4th grade, the 5th graders are just seem like such big kids. I know like the jump from 1 to 6 was big. I totally remember that. Just like seeing the 6th graders down the hall and being like, they are adults. They're adults. And like one day I'll be an adult maybe, but like I can't even begin to relate to them. The distance in years for all things, I suppose, really just gets less important as you get older. But it's vitally important when you're super young, which is one of my big gripes with this most recent Toy Story movie, Toy Story 5. You have Bonnie, who is 3. No, she's going into kindergarten for the first time. So what is that, 5? I don't know. Probably 5. And then by the end of the movie, spoilers, or Toy Story 5, she makes friends with this presumably like 11-year-old. Like she looks like she's 11 years old, bro. And this bitch is still playing with toys, which is problematic and strange. Maybe she's developmentally disabled, and that's why. She's like a horse girl. Most horse girls are developmentally disabled. Come to think of it. Just a strange coincidence I've noticed. No. But it is weird. And like the age gap does not make sense there. It is. Yeah, it's just a weird thing. When you're a kid, bro, you get like 1, maybe 2 years above you before you are completely, you guys cannot relate to each other at all. When does that stop? It's even difficult to relate to like a freshman as a junior in high school. Like you could probably be friends with a freshman. It happens, but it's rare. And then like that gets less weird in college, of course, and like especially if you're in some sort of organization, it becomes pretty standard, pretty normal. And then of course, just as the older you get, the less weird it gets. And I have plenty of people in my life who are way older than me, and well, not so many that are way younger than me. I don't have anyone in my life I will eventually, because my friends are going to start having kids. Some of them already have, but that would be the only my only path into my only window into what these kids are up to is my friends' children. I don't really give a fuck. I'm interested because I'm interested in culture, pop culture, and slop, and I'm interested in like a geographer, or a wildlife explorer. What the fuck is the term? Safari guide. I'm interested in that on that level of like, it's fascinating what these kids are watching or into. There's this guy I follow on TikTok who is a teacher, like a middle school teacher, and he reports to the rest of us what the kids are saying or like what their vocal stems are, what the things are that they're like spamming. And it changes, bi-weekly, or like stuff is out so fast. And like 6-7 is already dead, or 6-7 is like it's for itty bitty kids who don't know that it's cringe now. And like, a year ago it was Skibbity, and that's way long dead. I've heard it's like boy now, or I don't know the other ones. But anyway, it's just interesting. And I remember being that age and saying some dumb shit. There's been dumb shit that's been said by every generation since the beginning of time. In 7th and 8th grade, that illustrious fucking middle school, we had a teacher in middle school who was a doctor, and she required that everyone call her doctor. I'm going to not say her real name. Her fake name was Dr. I'm just trying to think of something that doesn't like immediately give it away or rhyme. Dr. Watch. That's pretty good. Yeah. If you know, you know. That's a very good fake name for this woman. Dr. Watch. Yeah, dude. She taught 7th grade fucking history, and we all hated her. And she called herself Dr. Watch. And if you are using your doctorate degree to teach middle schoolers, dude, you have failed as a person. I hate to say it. There's no way it's passion, because you were a horrible, horrible bitch that everyone hated, and you were mean to us. You were mean. You're also like 5 feet tall, 5 flat, which is not, I guess, relevant to your character, but it paints a picture, right? Okay, 5 foot, mean, redheaded woman named Dr. Watch, who taught 7th grade Texas history. Another thing that we were talking about recently. Do you guys think that other states have an entire course dedicated to their history? Is there New Jersey history taught in 7th grade for New Jerseyans? Is that a thing? Is it just Texas? Is it because we have the best history and there's like, we were Mexico at some point, and then like, we were our own fucking what do you call it? Country for a second. Anyway, yeah. So we do have a lot of interesting history, but like, is South Carolina? Can you fill up a textbook from South Carolina history? Can you? Iowa? I don't know, man. I bet you there's certain states that have a lot to be said, and it's probably a lot of southern states, because there's just a whole lot of slavery adjacent stuff, Jim Crow-y type behavior, and also just like the whole Mexico being right there, and Mexico being none too keen on allowing us our freedom, citizenship. Is that even true? I don't know. I fucking, because I wouldn't know, because I had a horrible teacher named Dr. Watch, who was a bitch and everyone hated. And I remember, so I actually felt really bad for Dr. Watch one time, because Dr. Watch got promoted or moved or whatever. I don't know if it's a pay bump. Probably not. From 7th to 8th grade. And she got, I think it's like Texas history and then U.S. history, I think. And she got moved when we were moving from 7th to 8th grade. So it meant that we would have her 2 years in a row. And I remember, still to this day, I remember her announcing to the class that she was moving with us. And like, I am pretty good. Like from day one, I've had a healthy dose of fucking secondhand embarrassment, like cringe. I can't handle cringe. I have real trouble seeing people uncomfortable, you know, I just can't. It's like it's hard for me to stomach. I also just don't want people to feel bad. I'm a bit of a people pleaser, I suppose. Even Dr. Watch, who is, I'm just trying everything in my power not to say the word. She was like, every time I say, I have to bleep it because YouTube hates that word. But that was Dr. Watch. That's, I mean, if I had to surmise, if I had to just sum up Dr. Watch with one fucking word, it was that. 'Twas that word. And maybe she was a nice lady. She just wasn't in the right place. Maybe she should have been teaching college, and she got stuck teaching middle schoolers through some horrible twist of fate. You know, she got fired from Cornell because she was 5 feet nothing, and they don't take kindly to that shit, dude. You have to have some height. She was like stuffing her feet. She was like stuffing her shoes for a while, pretending, or like wearing like 2 foot high heels every day. And then people just like, they started raising their eyebrows. I'm like, what is up? Your proportions are strange. Your giant comical stiletto heels are that you try to hide with your long jeans, your long parachute pants. They're strange, you know, they're strange. And I like to inspect those dogs you have under there if you could. And she goes, oh, what, my feet? No, please, no. Yeah. It's a little embarrassing, but I didn't shower this morning and they're a little smelly, so I'd prefer if you didn't. No, I insist, Dr. Watch. As a matter of fact, do it right now or you're fired. She goes, oh, God damn it. I knew this day would come. And she raises her fucking pants and she's 5 foot nothing all along. She's laughed out of that university in disgrace. And she's blacklisted from the whole Ivy League system. And then eventually, of course, not just the Ivies, but every college. And then it trickles down. She tries to get a fucking job at a high school. And they don't care about her height, but they do care that she's mean. And eventually, after a couple of years of just being berated by vicious high schoolers who are not going to put up with her dog shit, she makes a friend in like one of the other teachers who suggests that she goes down to middle school because the middle schoolers, while mean, are just so undeveloped and like they can be mean, but you can dress them down in 2 seconds because they have no confidence or really ability to form coherent thoughts. They're really just like kind of subhuman walking acne, just they're walking pimples, walking boner-ridden pimples. That's what middle schoolers are. And it's very strange to me that anyone chooses to teach them. I think they should be kids who are going through puberty should be just put into a room and like locked into a room and you just kind of wait it out. It's like what Orthodox Jewish people do when women get their period. They just put her in a room. You just put her in a room. You let her bleed it out. And then because she's unclean, she's uncouth. Every fucking 13-year-old is unclean and disgusting and should not be getting taught anything. They should be locked in a room. But anyway, Dr. Watch decided or was forced into this world and we hated her, man. We fucking hated her. And she announced to the class that she'd be moving up with us. And she like, I remember everything. This is like a very formative thing for me. She's at the front of the class. She goes, students, I have an announcement. I have, after careful consideration and after a lot of thought. And she's like pacing back. She's like looking down at the ground, and this is before everyone had phones, so we're just kind of we're looking at her because it's an announcement, and there's nowhere else to look. And she says, "Well, I just been told that I'll be moving up with you guys to the 8th grade." And like as she's saying the words, I still like to this day, bro. 3 or 4 people in the class, like comically, go like slap their head, or like put their head down on the fucking desk. A couple people groan like, oh, audible groans, head slaps, and you see her like she's not dumb. She's a doctor. Do you see her see it? You see her see the nuclear bomb that she's just dropped on this fucking classroom just by her just being our teacher again. We couldn't handle it, and I didn't, again, I felt for this poor woman. She was mean and rude and shouldn't have been in that position, but you hate to see a person just get berated that way. So I still feel bad for her a little bit. I hope she's doing okay. That Dr. Watch. She also had a cousin. She also had a fucking a cousin who was this like black stick figure guy who he's a character in the smash hit Super Smash Brothers Melee, and he had this like uncanny ability to sort of create objects from nothing. Pretty incredible stuff. I was like, oh, watch the Game and Watch. And there's something there. There wasn't anything there. There was nothing there. But you know what? You're going to keep swinging. You're going to keep fucking swinging, brother. Let's go. It's so fun. Podcasting is so fun. What else? What the fuck else? We just talked about middle school I have one more middle school thing. Okay, so we had another teacher who was a football coach by the name of Coach Coach Will.I.Am. Again, if you know, you know. Coach Will.I.Am, who was one of the dumber humans I've ever met in my whole life. An absolute sweetheart, legitimate golden retriever energy. He was shockingly dumb to the point where we would, I kept a notebook of the things that he would say. This thing has been lost to the sands of time, but I unironically, truly had a notebook where he would say things and I would go, there is no way that you just said those words. Come on, dude. Come on. And then I'd pull out my fucking notebook and write it down, like quotes by, it was Will.I.Am-isms or whatever. And there's a famous clip of this individual, a Coach Will.I.Am, on the Wheel of Fortune. He's like just in the crowd and he gets selected. And this is going to ID him for sure if I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. He's the only guy who's ever spun the wheel backwards. He gets up there and he's so excited. It's like actually very sweet and endearing to see him so excited. And he gets up there and he like spins it backwards and goes, and it's like, whoa. I think it's Pat, what's his name? Pat Bailey, who's the fucking guy, the main Wheel of Fortune guy. He's like, dude, no, what? Whoa. I'm pretty sure he says like, never. I've been at this job, doing this job for 15 years. I have never seen someone do that before. It's awesome. I'm pretty sure it's Wheel of Fortune. It's one of those fucking whatever game show wheel shows. But anyway, that's Coach Will.I.Am, and he's an absolute sweetheart. I liked the guy, but he was just really dumb, really, really dumb, and but endearing. sweet. Again, you can't blame the man for the IQ. He wasn't meant to be a teacher. He was meant to be a football coach, a middle school football coach. And I think that with football specifically, like Dr. Watch, I don't know how a person with a fucking doctorate ends up in middle school. A football coach, I totally get that. You play like D2 football and then you don't have any other skills because you're dumb as fuck. You're dumb as a goddamn box of rocks. And then you try to get a job coaching high school football and you can't because you're dumb as a box of rocks. And so you go down to middle school. That's how that happens. I get that for sure. And, you think to yourself, and also there's probably truth in this, that you put your time in middle school, junior high, as we called it. And eventually with that resume material, you can graduate into high school, which is where your actual passion is, because Friday Night Lights are the real deal. There's such a massive high school culture in Texas, in the South, in the United States specifically, but like Texas, it's fucking huge, dude. Friday Night Lights is like a massive, massive thing. People give a shit about high school football here. They really do. So any hoodle, this doctor, what did I say? No, he's not a doctor. Coach Will.i.am is, if you're wondering why, because now I'm speaking directly to the people who knew these two individuals. Will.i.am, because Black Eyed Peas, like, who's the other person in the Black Eyed Peas? Like, come on, dude, come on, fuck on, dude. Anyway, so Coach Will.i.am is demonstrating. I don't remember what even class this was, what he taught. I also think it was history. Do the dumbest motherfuckers, like the worst teachers, get history? Why is that? Do the worst teachers get history? Is that a thing? Anyway, yeah, I think it's possible that the worst teachers are assigned history, which is strange. I don't know what that's about. Maybe because there's no like real concepts that you're teaching. It's just facts. So you're just like, you can teach facts by just saying the facts. You don't have to like actually teach. You don't have to make someone understand something. You can just say this happened and this happened and then this happened. I think that's why. So anyway, Coach Will.i.am is trying to demonstrate like force of motion. I'm not entirely sure what the demonstration even is, but he's like, I need a volunteer. I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll volunteer. And I go up there and he's like, this is how motion works, or like the laws of Newton or some shit. He puts his hand up and he goes like, try to push my hand away. And he's like putting a lot of oomph on it. And I just really hard like push the fuck out of his hand because I know that I will be able to. And right away I regret it. It's one of those things where he's trying to do a thing. It's clear that what the intention of the demonstration was that he would stop my hand. But I was am big and strong. And so I like intentionally like pushed his fucking, I shat on his demonstration basically intentionally. And in front of the whole class laughs. And you see his face just deflates, bro. He's like, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it. Like I let him do the thing again right away, but I still remember that. I still feel bad about it. And I was like, I'm such a fucking asshole. I knew what the thing was. Just give him this. Just throw him the bone, dude. Throw him the bone. Why you gotta poke holes in it, man? It's because I was 13 and I just didn't care. I wanted to be an asshole. I wanted to be a dick. I think that was in high school actually. That was like sophomore year of high school. Anyway, I feel the same way, by the way, when people are, dude, I just had to write a memo for work. Guess how long it had to be. Guess the number of words that I had to type. And you just go, I don't know, 500,000. And they go, what? Well, no, not that many, but 10,000. I do that all the time. I shit on the thing that the guy says because he wants to. It's clear that he wants to have a little moment, you know? He wants to be like, he wants me to guess. Whoa, well, I had no idea. I couldn't possibly imagine. Well, let's see. The average memo that you type is about roughly a page and a half, and that's whatever, 300 words. So, you know, I'm like, bro, I'd like, just fucking tell me the thing. By the way, if you want me to, you want me to guess because the number is big. So like, I'm a smart cookie. I'm going to guess a big number because you wouldn't be having this. We wouldn't be talking about this if it was a normal number, right? So just fucking tell me the thing, dude. That specifically, I really can't stand. I really, really hate that little moment. That little cutesy, let's play a little game. Let's just play a little game. Fuck your game, dude. Tell me the information. I'm by the way, happy to learn about your situation. I'm happy to even like react. Whoa, that's a big number. But I'm not going to do the little game. I'm not going to do it. I don't appreciate you making me walk through this little song and dance of yours. I don't appreciate it. You're wasting my fucking time. Okay. You do feel bad a little bit though. When you shit on people's dreams like that, you see their face deflate, much like Coach Will.I.Am in the story. You see their face deflate. They go, oh no, my moment. I really truly in my heart of hearts do not enjoy watching people that in pain or suffering in any way, any shape or form. I don't fuck with it. That's not true. As I was saying it, dude. As I was saying it, I was like, that's 100% not true. Okay, fair enough. I think specifically with stuff like that, where it's uncomfortable social moments, I hate watching that specifically. Physical pain, I'm a big fan of. I'll watch that all day. That's different. It's different for some reason. It's different. Anyway, I think we've talked quite long enough without a proper slopic. I mean, I guess you could call the World Cup a slopic, but dude, holy shit! I gotta talk about like two comedy things first. What do we start with? Let's the one that I don't have a whole lot to say about. Congratulations to Shane Gillis for the show in Philly at the Lincoln Financial Field. Sold 76,000 tickets to a single comedy show, breaking the world record. It's the biggest comedy show ever. It is never. Yeah, like Shane's bigger than Louis. He's bigger than Chappelle. He's bigger than Chris Rock. Well, of course, Chris Rock was ever on those two guys' level, but like, yeah, dude, he's bigger than Kevin Hart. He's the biggest comedian on planet Earth by a long shot. But yeah, dude, even Chappelle, even Louis, they weren't doing fucking Lincoln Center. They weren't selling 76,000 tickets for a show. Like, wow. I've seen a ton of stuff online about this show specifically, mostly because there were 76,000 people there, and all those people have cell phones and they can post things on TikTok. But they had Matt McCusker open along with Big J Okerson. He had 3-6 Mafia close the show. He had Chappelle come out, and they did like they were both on stage for 10-15 minutes, which I've never, by the way, been a fan of, the two dudes on stage thing. I would much rather just see Shane Gillis and then Dave Chappelle, or vice versa. I don't, the two people on stage thing, it doesn't work for me. I saw Chappelle with Jon Stewart in Houston in an arena, and probably for comparison's sake, by the way, a third of the size of this baseball stadium, probably like 25,000 people, which is still a fucking insane amount of people. But anyway, So saw them two there, Jon Stewart, then Chappelle, and then they both came on and were like trading good natured jabs at each other. And I said, bye. And I got up and left, beat the traffic. I think I still have a poster of that show somewhere. I might put that up in this new place of mine that I'm sitting in and talking to you from right meow. Yeah, so anyway, I'm just personally not a fan of that, but it does not change the fact that this is like a genuinely historic achievement that is so cool to see. I think Shane Gillis is the real deal for real. He is so fucking good, so good at stand-up and really good at podcasting. He is the most likable human being ever. He is like, I think that's why his appeal is so broad. It's because like no one doesn't fuck with that guy unless you're like a woke warrior maybe, but those people barely exist these days. Everyone loves Shane Gillis, man. I think he has two of the best specials, period. I love both of his specials so much. It is so cool, by the way, to see the trajectory from Live in Austin, the YouTube special, where he's doing it in this in the creek in the cave on 6th Street in Austin. It's the creek in the cave, it's the same people, same owner from the New York one who moved to Austin, so it's like a historic venue or whatever. You got the bear on stage, you got the whole thing. It's a nice historic venue. However, it's on fucking 6th Street, and because of that, the music bleeding in from the bar next to the building, it is so annoying. I've seen shows there and it is very fucking annoying. By the way, the worst thing a comedian can do is not address it. I've been to a show. I went to a show there. I forgot who I saw, and no one brought it up. Everyone just pretended it wasn't happening. And it's like, so, that's when then you go back and watch the Live in Austin special and he addresses it immediately and he's hilarious. It's like he addresses it hilariously. He goes like, fuck, music is so much cooler than stand up. This is so comparatively lame what I'm doing up here. They're all over there dancing, drinking, having a good time. You guys are just sitting here quietly staring at a guy. Yeah, he's just the best, man. He's so endearing and a genuine like generational talent. I think he's one of the best. Like, you could make the argument that he's the best stand-up working today, and he's also the most popular. Yeah, I don't know. You can make that argument. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if I'm saying that. I'm just saying you could make that argument. So congratulations to Shane Gillis, dude. Holy shit, 76,000 tickets. I'm just curious. I'm so curious the revenue. Very, very, very curious of that. If you estimate that, let's do some quick maths here. If you estimate that each one of those 76,000 tickets cost roughly $50. Rest in peace, my granny. She got hit by a bazooka. Oh, yep. That's $38 million just from ticket sales. $38 million for one fucking night. And of course, like I'm certain that the average ticket price was more than that. So that's just tickets. I mean, you've also got sponsors and all kinds of other shit. So he's bringing in several $1 million just for that one evening of his time. I'm sure it was a lot more than one evening. As a matter of fact, I heard him talk about it on the podcast. He said he's been planning this for months. It's like lining everything up. He recorded an episode of the pod the night before the show. He's like, I can't even think about it right now. Like this is like the most nervous I've ever been for a show by far. He's like, I've been planning this for months. My agent talked me into this months ago. I thought it would be a cool idea. Now that it's here, I'm like having panic attacks, and yeah, it's just crazy. But anyway, it's a cool deal, man. I love that he brought Matt, that Matt opened for him. Shouts out to the McCusker boy. Yeah, just cool. Just cool to see. I love that stand-up is so healthy right now, Shouts out to that. So shouts out to Shane Gillis, man. We love you here at Slop Shop. There's more stand-up news, Slops. some more stand-up slop here for you. Holy shit, Tom Segura and Christina P are getting a divorce. I am a longtime YMH fan. I love their podcast. I have been listening to it for years and years, and I didn't see this coming. I think that there's a lot of people who are going to lie and say that they did, because hindsight is 2020. And there's been tons of clip compilations this week of people scrubbing through old episodes and finding every time that Tom jokingly was talking shit about Christina, or saying that he was going to go get like a young hot wife after she died or whatever. Like, they would do that playful banter frequently, and it is all fun and games or whatever. It doesn't mean anything until it does when they are getting a divorce. So it is sad. I'm sad for sure. It's they haven't recorded an episode of the podcast together in some time, and the story that they were giving is that they're busy, that Segura is flying around shooting things and doing stand-up or whatever, and they can't currently make time for it. But Segura has been one of the most popular comedians on planet Earth for a long time now, probably like 5+ years, and they've made it work for 5+ years. So I'm not, like this, the biggest red flag for sure would be the fact that they have been recording separately for a couple months now. I do not like these separate episodes at all. It's one of them plus a guest, and the dynamic just isn't there. The reason that I'm a fan is because of their dynamic. They are so fucking funny. They are, yeah. I mean, it's I take so much from them, much like Red Letter Media. Like, they're just sort of ingrained into my DNA at this point, and it sucks. It does feel, I'm very parasocially attached to these two, and it does kind of feel like, I don't know, like a friend or a family member is getting a divorce. I don't know. That's maybe a little too familiar. What I'm getting at is that that it did hit me when I read that TMZ headline. It was surprising and sad, and I'm surprised and sad a little bit. So it is also interesting that the Bobby, Lee, and Kalila just went through this, a year and a half, 2 years ago, where they have a podcast together called Tiger Belly, and they were in a relationship, long-term relationship, and they had a podcast together, and then they split up, and the podcast remained. They continued doing the podcast together despite them being no longer a couple, which is interesting. I was never a Tiger Belly person, so I don't know how the dynamic shifted. I'm sure it must have shifted. It has to have. But yeah, like the dynamic, I'm sure, will shift with YMH. It's impossible for it not to, It'll shift, which is unfortunate. I do hope that they figure it out, or like, I'm sure that Bobby and Kalila are giving them advice at this point, or they're asking for it maybe. But like, they were able to maintain the relationship enough to continue the show amicably, and apparently the divorce is amicable according to TMZ. Another interesting thing about TMZ, they the headline, like Christina P and Tom Segura are getting a divorce or whatever, leaked on the website a week before it got announced, and it was on the website for like 4 hours. And it was like Tom Segura and Christina P's relationship through the years, ... And it was like just a photo montage. And then it was on the website for 4 hours. Someone found it, posted it on the YMH subreddit, and then it disappeared. And then a full week later, you get the announcement, the official announcement. What is that about? Why did that happen? Fascinating, maybe it was a rumor a week ago. And TMZ is they are fucking bloodhounds, and they just probably had the information and didn't post it until it was official. That's my guess. They were waiting at the fucking county clerk office with a big comical ski mask and like a bag of money with a big money symbol on it over their shoulder. And then as soon as Mr. Segura came in and filed the paperwork, they put the bag of money on the desk, and some guy slid the envelope over. They took a photo of it and slid it back and then posted the article. That's my guess, because I don't know how else this thing happens. It's very strange. TMZ is not one to wait with news. They are one to, speed is the thing when you are TMZ. It is all that matters. There's a clip of, who's that godforsaken, horrible human? His name's Harvey Keitel. It's not Keitel. It's something though. Doug Stanhope has an incredible bit about this guy, but he's the worst. This dude, he's the TMZ guy. The TMZ guy is like doing his show or whatever, because he has like a show where he's on camera with his other ghouls. The ghouls at to be like, imagine getting a job at that place. Imagine being like interested in working there, being so caught up with the celebrity tabloids thing and being like really good at finding information. It really is. It's like you could become a journalist and be like paid for finding, breaking big stories, or like, bringing people to justice. And instead you use your talents for like the most the grossest form of quote unquote news that exists, which is TMZ. Yeah. That is truly using your powers for evil. Just looking evil dead in the face and saying, yes, please. Yes, please. I'd love to be a part of that. They are the worst. But I can't blame them. I appreciate the breaking news stories as much as anyone else's. I appreciate the fact that they are so fast to whatever the thing is. It's impressive. You got to hand it to them. It's impressive. But yeah, anyway, there's a video of him recording his show, and one of his ghouls comes up and says, "Hulk died." He's on the phone. One of his Hulk died. He goes, "What? Is it confirmed?" And he goes, "No, it's not confirmed yet." He goes, fuck it. Post it anyway. Fuck it. Post it. And then the whole office just erupts into Hulk Hogan died. My God. What an industry. It's just as popular as it always was, probably, but it's a different form now. It's no longer the magazines that you see at the grocery store line that you like. Oh man, imagine how much those people are hurting now. The magazine people. Magazines are already on the out, but the fact that no one, the reason that you even considered buying those shits is because you were bored waiting in line to buy your groceries. No one is ever bored ever now. You're not bored. You're looking at your phone. If you're standing in line waiting for groceries to be checked out, you are staring at your phone, dude. You're not looking at the fucking magazines right there. It's never happening. So I bet I wouldn't be surprised, dude, if gum sales are down for the same reason. Yeah, because bored people make purchases they don't need. Impulse buys. I still be buying gum at those fucking places, man. I still do it. Yeah, man. So anyway, I'm bummed. I do hope they continue the podcast or figure out how to do it amicably. It would be interesting, a very interesting dynamic to have them both be still doing the podcast, still co-parenting, and now dating other people and talking about it on the show. That would be fascinating. I wonder if they're even cool, being in the same room as each other. According to TMZ, it was amicable, but you don't get divorced for no reason. So It is weird. Like Christina, the entire internet has definitely taken her side, mostly because Segura was already sort of people kind of didn't fuck with the guy already. So now that there's a reason to truly not fuck with the guy, or like is maybe not even truly, but like you just adding so much fuel to the fire of he was Mr. Rich kind of snobby comedian, and now he's Mr. Rich snobby comedian who divorced his beloved comedian wife, who is very down to earth and wonderful and makes fun TikToks and stuff. So you have like so everyone's saying that we're getting Mom in the divorce, and yeah, I like Christina quite a bit, but I'm a Segura man for sure. Still a huge fan of them both. Together they're magic, but I'm a Segura guy for sure. Yeah, without question. He's one of the better interviewers. Period. I love the way his interview style is fantastic. He's the best. Genuinely hilarious on a microphone and super, super interesting. He's just interesting the whole time. Never not interesting. He's one of those guys that like people feel this way about Bobby Lee for sure, but he's one of those guys that if he guests on someone else's podcast, I will be listening to that podcast. I feel that way about only a handful of people, Louis being the chief among them. Louis is doing a press run for his new special, which is on Netflix. The special is very good. You should check it out. It's called Ridiculous. We saw him live in Austin with the same material. He's added some stuff since then. He has a nursing home bit that is goated. It's incredible. It's top tier Louis, much like it's straight out of his old playbook. The nursing home bit is really incredible. So if you have a family member in a nursing home, or if you're even familiar with the concept, he has like such incredible angles and takes, and you remember why he's the best to ever do it with stuff like that. When he gets into things like that, he's the greatest. So he's doing a press run for this new special on Netflix. Again, by the way, back on Netflix after everything. What a ridiculously insane career arc this guy has had. Insane career arc to uncancel yourself basically just by sheer will, and also a 12-step program. A 12-step program and sheer will has transformed this man, and he's been able to move past the dark period of his life, and hopefully he's made amends to the people that he hurt. I certainly hope he has. But anyway, he's the best to ever do it, and I love him dearly. And I also have a thing. There was a recent Drew Gooden did an interview. I love Drew Gooden, and he was talking about YouTube videos that he loves, or that he's jealous of, like YouTubers he's jealous of. And he said this guy released a 4-part documentary about Louis C.K. called "We Need to Talk About Louis," and he said it's really, really well done and fascinating, and has made me change the way that I feel about the guy. Has changed the way that I feel about the guy, and I don't have any interest in watching this. I have trouble hearing about things that I love in a negative light, even if the negativity is justified, right? Like, I'm aware that Louis C.K. is a sexual deviant and debatably, I wouldn't say he's actively a predator, but he was a predator. But I think people can change. And I think that he's such a genius. Like, I feel the same way about him that a lot of people feel about Michael Jackson. Actually, that's not true at all. what a lot of people feel about Michael Jackson is there's no way he was a pedophile because he was so talented, which is insane to me. The way I feel about Louis C.K. is that he is the most talented comedian to ever breathe air. And also he was a bit of a piece of shit when it came to his sexual misconduct. So I don't know. I'm torn. I really don't feel like indulging in a long teardown of a guy I really like, even if the points are justified. So maybe I need to work on that about myself. Maybe it's not fair. Maybe I should like not even dip my toe. If I'm like unwilling to confront the fact that there may even be more about this story that I am unfamiliar with, or that if I'm unwilling to confront the fact that my opinion of this person might be hurt by a piece of journalism, maybe that's like living in blissful ignorance intentionally and all is not chill. Maybe I should confront that part of myself, you know? That's possible. It's also possible that the guy is just a cringe lord, this YouTuber. But I don't think that's the case. I respect the fuck out of Drew Gooden, and he wouldn't have said that. He wouldn't have recommended this YouTube series were it not good. So maybe I'll watch it. I don't know. I don't think I will, though. I think I'd rather live in blissful ignorance, at least for now. Maybe I'll confront that part of myself in the future. But for now, I fucking love Louis, dude. I love the man. He's my comedy hero. And now that Norm Macdonald is dead, he is my comedy icon currently, and has been for forever. But I don't know how I got back onto Louis, but curious to see how the YMH stuff shakes out. I'll keep you posted. Another fun slop pick here. The Ludwig did a Streamer U University course. I don't know if this was connected to the Kai Cenat thing or if it was his own deal, but Ludwig is fucking awesome. He is one of the smarter streamers, clearly, and also actually is really funny and is going for bits constantly. I love The Yard. I think The Yard is like top tier in terms of like comedy podcasts. Those guys are really, really trying, going for jokes all the time. Yes, anding. Yeah, just really impressive. They're all four extremely high level comedic performers, including Ludwig. Ludwig's probably the fourth funniest, to be fair, but he's also the face of the organization. And just because he's the fourth funniest doesn't make him not funny. He's still very funny. The other three are really, really, really funny. But anyway, he did this like Streamer University presentation with all these nobody streamers and just broke down every aspect of his workflow, how much money he makes, how much money they can expect to make, the fact that almost none of them will make it, you know? I love how candid he is, and how candid he is in this thing is so cool to see. You don't see people who are willing to show you behind the curtain like this. Like, he just tells you point blank how much his personnel costs, how much these events cost to put on, how much like the percentages like of how many streamers are averaging 100 viewers, how many streamers are averaging 1,000 viewers, you know? The answer to those questions, by the way, is essentially none. Like 0% of Twitch is averaging 1,000 viewers. If you're you can make a healthy living off like 100 viewers. If you're averaging 100 people watching you, you can probably make a living off of that. But yeah, if you're averaging 1,000, you're in the 0.01%. It's just unheard of, dude. It's so difficult to break through and to make it. I don't know how you do it. Queso is like the wild card. That dude came out of fucking nowhere with no collaborations or connections. He just did the TikTok live thing, and it worked because people love his personality. He is the exception to the rule. Like, it just does not really happen without help from other people or virality. That was another interesting point. He's like, yeah, stop clip farming and start making money. If you focus all your efforts into the clips, you can get views and you can build like an audience on TikTok or whatever, but that equates to no money at all. And like, you need long form content to build income, revenue. So anyway, Ludwig is the man. He's fucking great. He's great. I know some people who don't like him, and I don't understand not liking him. He's really, really something. I think he gets lumped into the same camp as, I don't know what camp he gets lumped into, but the camp that he's in is like the Atrioc camp, which is like S tier streamer camp. He is a god tier streamer, straight up. And I really, really fuck with the guy. So shouts out to Ludwig. Speaking of Ludwig, what have I been watching, Sloppers? I'm glad you asked. I saw the Odyssey. Shouts out to Josh Rodriguez of There Are Too Many Movies. He got me 70mm IMAX tickets. We saw the movie at 10:45 p.m. at Cinemark Webb Chapel in Dallas, one of the few theaters in the country that can project 70mm legit. Very impressive. Technically, visually, the floor to ceiling projection is nutty. It's a cool deal. I still, in my heart of hearts, don't know why I should care. Not about IMAX, but about the difference between IMAX digital projection and actually projecting on 70mm. I understand the difference between typical and IMAX, like standard projection and IMAX. No doubt about it. IMAX is crazy. The floor to ceiling thing is nuts. However, I don't give a fuck if it's digital or real film. I do the real film thing because it's the thing that you do. It's the thing that you do because you're a film nerd, right? You got to go do the thing. So I do the thing, but I don't know why I do it. I just do the motions. I go through the motions because that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, whatever. I'm a goddamn follower. I need a group leader to tell me how to see this film. And the last week, Josh was my group leader. Thank you, Josh, for that. So we went to go see it. It was like late at night. Latest movie I've seen in a long freaking time, dude. This reminded me of the midnight premiere days, like the Harry Potter, which we never really did, but like queuing up for a midnight premiere of a film is kind of a lost art, a lost thing. And they're doing it for this one because they're selling so many goddamn tickets. Like they are selling them literally around the clock. Like 3 a.m. showings are totally sold out of this. So it's really a cool deal. What else can I say? But this movie is worth your time. It is absolutely worth your time. Go see it in a theater. Go see it in a big ass format if you can. It's very impressive. I am not head over heels in love like most of everyone that I have spoken to about this. My movie nerd friend Brady, who has been on this podcast, said it's his new favorite movie, which is wild to me. But he loved the source material growing up. He read it a bunch, and he has a strong connection to this story. So he loved it, and his wife loved it, and like most of my friends really, really love it. Josh, who took me to the screening, had seen it 3 times before I saw it with him. And we saw it, 3 days ago, Thursday. So he saw it basically 3 times in 3 days. And then a 4th time with me. 4 times in 4 days, brother. Wild. I really liked it. I think it has structural problems, and that's the reason that I'm not in love. I think the pacing is wonky. I think it starts bad, straight up bad. Like the first 10, 15 minutes, I was like, oh no. Like this is like what's happening? I'm lost. I'm bored. I'm none of this is dialogue is hitting. And then it finally, also the first person you see is Travis Scott. I was like, oh no, dude. The first human being you see in the movie is Travis Scott. I knew he was in it, but I was like, oh, he's easily the weakest actor by a mile. And someone told me that the reason that they put him in there is because hip hop rappers are he's a bard in the film, and rappers are like our current day bards. And I was like, okay, I guess, but maybe get a rapper who can act. Not the, I would call that'd be the only, I guess you could theoretically call it Elliot Page stunt casting, but I don't, Red Letter Media, my beloved, made an excellent point, which is that Christopher Nolan has worked with almost every actor in this movie before, including Elliot Page. And like, he just put him in his movie because he has a relationship with him. And like, it wasn't for any fucking culture war nonsense reason. He just likes working with him and did on Inception. And here he is in the Odyssey. But, you're going to have your culture warrior douche bros who are trying to torpedo this movie because of that, which is really stupid. But anyway, fuck all that. That's actually utter nonsense. And that doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. This movie is going to make a fuckload of money. And then all those people, where are the go woke, go broke bros when this movie makes like $1 billion fucking dollars and it's a 3-hour epic, much like Oppenheimer was, and it sweeps the Oscars much like Oppenheimer did. Like where the go broke, go woke, go broke guys? Where are they going to be when that happens? We'll see. That shit is like actual utter fucking nonsense. It's like a relic of a bygone era. Are we still doing that? You know what I mean? Much like woke one, when people are like calling people out for old tweets or whatever. I'm like, we're still doing those days are over. Okay. We're moving. We're way past that, dude. Come on. Get with the times. The movie's good. My structural issues, as previously described, sloppers, are the kind of episodic nature of the way the story is told. I think does not lend itself well to the visual medium, or they could have figured out a way to make it more seamless and less like start-stoppy. It's very start-stoppy, and it's also very repetitive. Like Matt Damon and his friends go to an island, they encounter some horrific thing there, and then they leave. They fuck off to another island where they go and they encounter some horrific thing there. And then they leave. They fuck off to another island where they go and they kind of, it's like just boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. And every individual sequence I think is excellent. There's not a bad bunch of them. Like the weakest one I think is the Hades scene. That movie, that scene is kind of nothing. It does give us a great piece of information that I think the Agamemnon, which who by the way looks fucking sick. Looks so tough. He looks so tough, bro. And the good news too, by the way, for all the historically accurate nerds out there, that's exactly what he looked like in real life. No, dude, like I saw a great tweet that was like, Agamemnon, we get it. You got that shit on. Because every time they shoot him, they like fucking pan up his entire outfit and just like you see him from the bog. He is so cool looking, so cool. So anyway, we learned a good piece of information about that character in that scene. But other than that, that's the weakest of them. But it really does feel like every one of the scenes is great. It's just the connective tissue that's not ideal. The Sirens is incredible. The Giant is cool. The Cyclops, the screams of the Cyclops is really, really effective. That's probably the best, or that's probably when the movie starts getting good, is when they talk about the Cyclops. Those giant dudes who just start fucking them up in the armor. That's really good. The Whirlpool is okay. I don't know. It feels bad. This is one of those movies that I don't want to talk shit about because I'm very impressed at everything technically. And like the fact that Christopher Nolan can still get this done, dude. He can still make a movie the old fashioned way with like 95% practical everything. Like they are actually out there on fucking ships, raising sails and like rowing. Like they are actually out there. They just don't do that anymore. It doesn't happen. Or like I don't know how they did. Oh my god, the witch scene is unreal. All that stuff is just like it's just beautiful. It's like you never for a second are pulled out of it because it looks like a green screen or CGI or anything. It just looks real the whole time because it is. 90% of it is real. And like that dedication, it has to be such a fucking pain in the ass to haul those giant IMAX cameras around. Dude, I saw a featurette that was like hold on. Saw a featurette that showed the behind the scenes what it's actually like to shoot on those things. It's a fucking nightmare, dude. It's an actual nightmare. They're huge. They're huge. And not only that, they are the loudest. They're so loud. Crazy loud. It's insane. And then they I think recently, or like because they were so loud and because of Nolan's insistence on using them, dedication to using them, and like the fact that he wanted to do this entire movie, every single frame of it on these cameras, they built these boxes, like sound absorbing boxes to put the cameras in so that you can capture some on-set audio. Because otherwise, the entire thing would just be like, "Hey, how's it going? You guys good? Here I am. My name's Odysseus." Yeah, dude. So anyway, yeah, all that's really just great, and I think but I gave the movie a 3 out of 5. I gave it a 3, but however, the reason I gave it a 3, I was torn between 3 and a 4. The reason I gave it a 3 is because it didn't stick with me. I wasn't thinking about it the next day. The next day I was like, just because it wasn't just out of my mind, you know, it left my brain. And with all that said, though, it's entirely possible that I rewatch this puppy and it gets booted up. I'm excited to rewatch it. As a matter of fact, I might do that tomorrow evening. I might do that tomorrow night, depending. Yeah, dude. So I'm looking forward to rewatching it. I anticipate probably bumping the score up, hopefully, at least. I wonder if Tom Holland's performance will hit me better on a second viewing. Another great tweet. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is the Red Letter Media review. I'm just parroting Red Letter Media now. That's what this podcast has become. It's just me giving you the information that I just got from a fucking movie review by my favorite YouTube channel of all time. Is there value in that? No. No value at all. So never mind, I won't even tell you the thing. With that said, sloppers, I think I'm just going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for subscribing or following on your listening app of choice. Eventually, this will look like a podcast set and not just the back rooms, but it's fun to build an apartment, man. I'm having a good time with it. Thank you guys for bearing with me in the meantime, and I will see you guys in 7 days' time. Godspeed to you all.